group for the senior class. So we get them all in the same race from the get-go. And if the qualifying in the heat is anything to go off, Ty Stansfield is the man to beat. He's got one of the two layers alongside him. The 175 of Patrick Lay. Missed a few rounds, hasn't he? He was at round 3 and round 4. He's had a few rounds off, and he's back with a vengeance at round 7. James Lay on the inside of row 2. The 21-year-old, and alongside him is our championship leader. Oh no, it's not. It's Matthew Pearce. So where is our championship leader? I assume he's a little bit further down the field. So Pearce will start on the outside of the second row. So just around about on schedule. This race due at 2:10, and this is the last of our pre-Grand Prix before we start the real action where the real championship points are at stake. The big chunky numbers that these drivers will be very, very keen to get a hold of. It's getting towards the business end of this Daniel Ricciardo series. One round to go following this, round number 8, which takes place at Houghton Park in Cheshire. A series that covers the length and breadth of the country. It's established itself as one of the premier UK karting series, no doubt about that. We're delighted to have you with us if you're watching us live on our YouTube stream, or indeed via Facebook.
Grid's come in.
And the DRS125s are next on the agenda. It's Tyrone Stansfield, courtesy of his qualifying performance and his win in Heat 1, who starts on pole position. Alongside him is Patrick Lay. On row number 2, James Lay and Matthew Pearce, 3rd and 4th on the grid. Row 3 is Corey Lane and Zach Parkinson. Row 4, Morgan Cole and Richard Evans. And row 5, Will Chetley and Oliver Moog. David Darling and Dave Burns occupy row 6 with Carl Watt and Daniel Walden on row 7. Ryan Benton and Mark Lawrence on row 8. And Sam Faulkner. So, not sure what's happened there. We've not been given any indication, but there's clearly been some sort of penalty or infringement or issue, which has led to Sam Faulkner going off the back of the DRS125 pre-Grand Prix. They've completed one of their 2 formation laps. And they're in the Dell chicane. So, around they come then. Can Tyrone Stansfield find his way into the first corner first? He's got a good drop, I can tell already. He will get into the first corner first. Patrick Lay does a good job of just sneaking in to second place. Pearce has got a great start, so Matthew Pearce from the outside of the second row jumps into 3rd place as they all stream down then into the stadium section. This complex, tricky couple of right-handers. They come into Chandler's for the first time. They head up the short back straight, up the hill off Campbell. You see the fronts of the cars just start to lift a little bit as they come over some of the bumps and the changes in camber. But Stansfield done a very good job at getting out front now. His job will have been certainly to try and get the jump and try and get the drop, and it was always a plan of drivers who are successful, drivers who are good at leading races. The first 2 laps can be key. You can win a race effectively in 2 laps. If you can break the toe, break the hold of the drivers behind, let them get involved in a battle amongst themselves, you can certainly give yourself the absolute best chance of winning that race. So that's what Stansfield will want to do. Be consistent, be smooth, be quick, hit every apex, get on the power early, try and get the best possible, most consistent quick lap times that he can, and just try and break the heart of Patrick Leigh, try and stop him from feeling like he's got a chance to stay on terms with Stansfield. We'll keep an eye on Faulkner as well. Faulkner's already made 5 places up into 11th. In fact, he's made more than that. He's up into 9th, Sam Faulkner. So Sam Faulkner is a man on the move, is a man on the charge, and he's up into 9th place. Oliver Moog is his next target. Corey Lane is ahead of him, and Parkinson is 6th. So another good start as well for Richard Evans. So Evans is up into 4th place. So Stansfield, Leigh, Pierce, Evans, and then James Leigh. So James Leigh not the start that he would have wanted from the inside of the second row. Currently finding himself in 5th place. Now, what's the distances between the front 2? So Stansfield and Leigh, half a second last time round, it's half a second this time round. So if anything, he is doing a decent job, and we're looking at another man who's doing a decent job. Sam Faulkner has got past Oliver Moog and up into 8th place. So he's flying, isn't he, at the moment? In terms of lap times, he did a 45.2 last time round. That's 0.2 of a second slower than Tyrone Stansfield, but bear in mind Stansfield is out front in clean air. And Faulkner is having to pick his way through this field. He's got 8 drivers between himself and Tyrone Stansfield. Here come the leaders, and here comes Richard Evans down the inside of Pierce. So the number 2 of Richard Evans, 36 years old, and up into 3rd place. One of the more experienced drivers in the field, and putting all that experience to good use as he's up into 3rd place. His next target is Patrick Leigh, but Patrick Leigh has got ideas to get on terms with Ty Stansfield, because at the moment the gap between them is coming down, and he's starting to really put some pressure on our leader, the number 6. Stansfield then has a little look over his right shoulder. He'll just want to see the gap between himself and Patrick Leigh. Leigh, in terms, has a little look behind to Evans and Pierce, who's lost a place to James Leigh as well. So James Leigh now up past Matthew Pierce. So not a good lap for Pierce, lost 2 places. 1 to Richard Evans and 1 to James Leigh. Leaders are just through your shot. Here's the rest of the field, and here's Sam Faulkner, currently in 8th place. He's chasing down Corey Lane, 19 years old, Sam Faulkner, the man from the Midlands. And if we just turn our attention back to the leaders, because I think there's just a couple of kart lengths between 1st and 2nd now. He just edges in under braking, does Patrick Leigh, as the leader comes over start finish to complete another lap here. We've got just around 3 minutes to go, and he's got a very nice, neat line through the hook as Patrick Leigh, and Patrick Leigh does the fastest lap of the race so far. So 2nd place, Patrick Leigh, fastest lap of the race so far, a 44.80, took 0.2 out of Tyrone Stansfield last time round as he edges through Chandler's, tries to just ease up under braking into the Del hairpin. He needs a good run out of here to try and just get a slipstream as they come down the long straight. He ducks his head down, gets onto the steering wheel, closes in under braking again, but Stansfield's very good under brakes as they go into Raymond's. Over start finish they come once more, and into the hook through the left. He's much narrower, isn't he, Patrick Leigh, through the hook? Certainly the second part he gets hooked right and tucked right up to the apex on the left hand side. It gives him a little bit more drive through the corner. and that's where he's making his time. I think that he's taking around about a tenth of a second or so away from Tyrone Stansfield through the hook chicane. It's whether or not he can keep that momentum going. He's going to struggle if he keeps going as wide as he has done through Charlie's last time round. So now he ducks his head down again. Gap has just about maintained, hasn't it? Got 2 minutes to go here, so he's got time as Patrick Lay. Here is where he's good. Narrow through there, really good through the second part of the hook chicane, and just lose a little bit on the exit, just maybe sacrifices some of that exit speed. Let's just keep an eye on Sam Faulkner as well, up into 6th. Matthew Pearce is his next target, so he's gone from last 17th to 6th as Sam Faulkner, doing a super job at the moment. Evans are watching brief in 3rd. Now he's close, isn't he, Patrick Lay, as they come up to the Del hairpin once more. This is as close as he's been for a while. Can he get a toe as they come out of the chicane? Again, Stansfield gets a good drive out of the chicane. He's not quite close enough to make a move this time as they go through Raymond's, but now Stansfield will know he's there. He'll know, he'll be able to hear a second engine noise. He'll be well aware that he's there. And that time, Lay wasn't quite as tidy through the chicane of the hook as he has been in previous laps. James Lay does his personal best lap time and tries to get onto the back of Richard Evans in this battle for 3rd and 4th, and then another second, 2 seconds further back is Matthew Pearce, who's got Faulkner in close attendance as well. So 3 battles of 2 karts, 1st and 2nd, 2nd and 3rd. So 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th. Here are the leaders. He's just about doing enough, isn't he, Tyrone Stansfield? Just about holding them off. There's Evans and Lay, 3rd and 4th. Leaders then through the chicane. It's nice and tight and narrow. I really do enjoy Patrick Lay's secondary line into the left-hander of the hook. He's very neat and tidy, very organised. It certainly pays dividends. It's where he closes all his time up on Tyrone Stansfield, and Stansfield spends the rest of the lap just trying to take half a tenth here, half a tenth there, and trying to keep that gap at around 3 or 4 kart lengths. Here are the leaders coming back towards us. I was going to say possibly for the final time. This will be close whether they cut the beam before the time's up. They cut the beam? Yes, they've been given a last lap flag, I think. Yeah, so last lap. It is a last lap this time round. So the front 2, how close can he get? Patrick Lay. James Lay is 3rd at the expense of Evans. Pearce still holding off the advances of Faulkner just about at the moment, but still a great drive from Faulkner. Leaders then, how close are these? About where he's been for the last 3 or 4 laps. He's going to need to do something pretty special through the Del chicane. I don't think he's close enough, Patrick Lay. I don't think he's close enough for one last gasp dive down the inside. He's not. And Tyrone Stansfield is going to back up his heat win with a pre-final win, a pre-Grand Prix win as well. 2nd place will be Patrick Lay. Did a good job, didn't he? Certainly showed that he's got the pace. If he can find anything else, another 10th or so, he'll have more than enough to challenge in those closing stages of the Grand Prix. We've got one driver, which is Morgan Cole, which is beached on the way into the Del chicane. So he's going to be not classified. But it was Stansfield, Patrick Lay, James Lay, Richard Evans, Matthew Pearce, and then Sam Faulkner recovered up into 6th place.